Oh, happy Wednesday, everybody. Good Wednesday to you. No video really today. I haven't been out shooting. I'm done in. I think I'm burning the candle at both ends. I've just got back from the Alps last week, which was awesome. And then I went straight from Switzerland over to the US of A and did the Out of Acadia conference, which was like a landscape photography conference where we took people out on workshops, we did seminars, we did image critiques. There was a live podcast. I got to do a live podcast with Nick Page, Brian Peterson, and Erin Babnick. So I was just like totally starstruck, especially Brian Peterson, because his book was the first book I ever bought on landscape photography, and it blew my mind. Anyway, that podcast, I'll link to it below. It's a good podcast. You should have a listen. But yeah, so I was hoping to vlog some footage whilst at the conference, but I didn't. I was with groups of like 12 people going out into areas I was unfamiliar with. I wanted to make sure everybody got a bit of attention because the light in Acadia National Park was good for like 15 minutes because it was just blue skies. So I had to make sure everybody was being seen to. I certainly didn't want to be out doing my own thing, so I didn't even take any photographs really, let alone any video footage. Just a bit of B-roll, nothing more. So I'm just really tired. But I've had a lot of people ask me about my experience with the Canon M5, which is the tiny mirrorless camera from Canon. It's their APS-C crop sensor. Now I'm going to talk about that camera, and because when I was using it in the Alps, I was very happy. I was a happy man. It was so compact and so lightweight and so user-friendly, and on the surface of things it seemed to be doing a really good job. I was super happy and over the moon until I got home to my computer and uploaded the images, and I was disappointed. But then I've had some time to think, and we're going to talk more about that soon in this video. But whilst I was in the States, I actually had a chance to borrow a Fujifilm G5X50s, which is like the complete opposite to the Canon M5. Small crop sensor, lightweight, cheap, massive, 50 megapixels, medium format digital camera, expensive. So it was really interesting to get to shoot that. And bang in the middle is the 5D Mark IV, this bad boy, which is what I shoot with all the time. And it's interesting this because I get a lot of emails off people asking for kit recommendations. What should I buy? And most of those people are just starting out and they want to upgrade from something like this, which is a point and shoot, to a proper camera. And one of the big questions I get is, does gear really matter? So yes, gear matters. It does. Okay, it's a fact. But how much? That's the question. So I have 3 images here. This is fun. This is something I've wanted to do for a while, so bear with me. I have 3 images here. One of these images was taken with the Fujifilm G5X50s. One of these images was taken with the Canon M5, and one of these images taken with the 5D Mark IV. I'm going to put them on screen. I want you to leave a comment below, and I'd like you to tell me which image was taken with which camera. So, image 1, image 2, or image 3. Please match those images with the camera. And do it now, because soon in this video I will tell you which photograph was with which camera. Now, why am I doing this? What am I talking about? Why am I talking utter nonsense? Well, when you're just starting out with photography, and most amateurs and probably most people watching this video, they want to go out and they want to have great experiences and take amazing pictures and share them. Now, in the world we live in today, most of our images are shared through social media. So they're going to be low resolution files, compressed again by the social media platform like Facebook, for example, and people are going to view those images on a phone. So what you're going to see is an image like this, and like this, and like this. My point is, can you tell the difference at such low resolution? Now, do not get me wrong, if I was to send you these 3 files, I expect within heartbeats you would be able to tell me which was taken with which camera purely by the image quality when you zoom in and start pixel peeping, but that's not what people do. People view something on a screen and move on. So it's actually more important that you're in the right place at the right time and you're happy and comfortable and not bankrupt. Okay? So until you start getting professional, where you start printing books, large prints, magazine, not magazines, like calendars, and really want to present your work the best it can possibly be, then gear matters. Then you need to start either shooting large format film or get a medium format camera, or like the D850 or the 5D4, something like that. Then it matters. Okay, it's all about quality. But at the stage where most people are, I don't think it matters as much. And I kind of hope that, these three images here prove that, because I chose these three images because they're all relatively similar. I don't know, and I didn't want you to be able to tell where they were taken, so they're all very generic. This image was taken with the Fujifilm G5X50s, and I only had the camera for a few hours, and I took this one photograph driving past the lake. I like the reflections, I like the tree bark and the colour and the light on the top. It was taken in the middle of the day, conditions weren't ideal, but it was definitely worth shooting. Quality on this is awesome. Let me just zoom into 100% here. So the level of detail you can see in these deep shadows, and I haven't done too much processing, as you can see from the side here, just your basic highlights, shadows, whites, bit of contrast, the usual stuff. But check this out. That's how much I've cropped it, and the image quality is still awesome, and I've cropped the hell out of it. And the reason I cropped it so much is just because I didn't have a long lens, and what I really liked were those trees. And it turns out the Fujifilm GFX50s has an awesome croppability capability. Has awesome crop capabilities. Croppabilities. So yeah, loved it. Am I going to drop 14 grand on one? Probably not, but still, absolutely loved it. And then this one was taken with the 5D Mark IV last year. Just a snapshot, not one of my best images, but I quite like the colour. And this one was taken with the Canon M5 in the Alps. Again, I was attracted to the colour. So what's my problem with the M5? Because it looks alright, right? Looks okay. I mean, it's okay, it's not bad. I'm just used to those L series lenses. There's probably better camera. Everyone kept mentioning the Fuji X-T2. I've never used it, I don't know. But yeah, that might be a better camera, who knows. But this certainly isn't a bad camera, but I'll tell you why I was disappointed. Now, you have to remember, I'm actually going backwards from a 5D Mark IV here. So, chromatic aberration, and I know this is all down to the lenses and not the camera itself, but you can see there's like purple, there's purple all over the image. If you look at where the rock meets the snow, there are these purple lines everywhere, and this is unedited as well. This is just the raw file. I haven't edited this, and you can see fringing along the top here, and the shadows are really muddy, and there's no contrast at all. Take this image again, unedited raw file. I was disappointed by the detail in the shadows and the contrast, or the lack of contrast, should I say, and just general image quality. Now, I'm not the most technical person. I don't quite understand those charts and graphs that websites publish about lenses and stuff. I just take an image of like the image, I like it, right? And I like this image, but when I started pixel peeping, I was just a bit disappointed. And that's because, again, I keep saying this, I'm used to shooting with L series lenses on the 5D4. So what's the big deal? There isn't a big deal. All this meant was that I had to work harder on the images in post-processing. And I still came out with images. I was still happy with the images. There's nothing wrong with them. And I'm certain, almost certain, that at least one of those images taken with the M5 will probably make it into next year's calendar. And that's saying something. So my initial reaction with the M5 was love it, lightweight, compact. Then I got the images into the computer, I was disappointed, but then I was thinking, hang on, I'm shooting with kit lenses here. You can buy that camera with that lens for about £1,200. That's cheap. And I'd say you're getting your money's worth, definitely. But yeah, I was disappointed with the image quality. Had to work the files a lot harder in Lightroom. But ultimately I got images I was happy with, and I think all goes to show is it's more important that you're in the right places at the right time. Because what's funny is I had the GFX50s in my hand and I didn't get any images I was happy with. So having a good camera doesn't make you a good photographer. Definitely not. It's all about light, composition, subject, commitment, being up there, getting out, getting into the places you need to be, being patient, waiting. That's what it's all about. Not the best camera. So this video is now turning into a video about nothing. so I'm waffling. So I do apologise. I don't really do kit reviews for this very reason. So to sum up, don't worry about your kit. You know, people view your images on an iPhone these days. So really don't stress about it. Get what you can afford and realise that 90% of the image is down to the photographer and being in the right place, the right time, being committed and really putting in the effort. The rest is just the camera, and I've proven that by taking nice images with the M5, working them a bit in Lightroom to, you know, get rid of some of the rubbishness from the lens, and having the GFX50s and taking one very mediocre picture. So good cameras do not make good photographers. Right, I'm going because I'm talking rubbish and I need to go and just rest for a few days, but lots of content coming up over the next few weeks. Some collaborations, some travel, and lots of good stuff. All right, thanks for watching. Bye for now.